Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Adarizki Putra. I'm from TBID, NIM 241190110. Okay, right now I want to explain about communicative language teaching or CLT. CLT is an approach in language that emphasizes the concept of interactions put in the process and in the objectives of the learning process. Historically, this CLT emerged as a response to the audiolingual method or ELM, which was not appropriate in language learning. This method differed from the understanding that language is a tool for communication, not just a set of rules. Language organizations that should stick to this understanding, namely, learning a language is learning to use language, not learning about the language. The main characteristic of CLT is the combination of language aspect functionally and structurally. Functionally, CLT emphasizes how the language is used, while structurally, CLT emphasizes the system or language rules. Even so, in the applications, larger portions in given because the structural portion built on language rules is not given directly but is implied in the learning process. CLT teaching theory. According to the communicative approach, so that the learning process can take place on time on the importance of the variables below. Communications. Active the involve real communication to develop learning. Assessment. Activities in which language is used to carry out tasks that have and support the learning process. Meaning, successful and authentic language to increase student motivation in learning. CLT goals. CLT have several object, objectives to be achieved, including student can use language as a tool to communicate. Student can use language as a tool to express something. Student can use language expressions appropriately when communicating. CLT applications. In its application in the classroom, CLT uses every activity that involves authentic interactions, both between teacher and student and between student and student. There are two forms of activity in CLT class, including functional communications activities, activities that aim to develop certain language skills and functions, but still involve communication. Example, how to express opinions, how to convey criticism and suggestion, how to ask for time, and how to ask for and give direction, and so on. Social interaction activities. Activities that emphasize the use of the language. Example, conversations and discussions, dialogue, role play, interviews, information gaps, and games. and games, language, expresses, surveys, by work, learning by teaching, and instruction. Using the method, the most common education model applied in the context of the communicative method is the functionation approach, which emphasizes the organization of the syllabus. The breakdown the use of language into five functions categories that can be more easily analyzed. Personal, feeling, it, it isn't, attention. Interperson, social and working relationships. Directive, influencing and others. Referential, reporting about things, events, people, and language itself. And imaginative is creativity and artistic impressions. These five broad functions are delivered by the teacher in the classroom using TPS. Teaching model, which stand for presentation, practice, and productions. CLT advantage. 1. CLT is a holistic approach. This approach not only focuses on the traditional structure syllabus, but also considers the communicative dimensions of language. 2. CLT presents passions and motivations to students in the classroom. 3. CLT is a learner who emphasizes the interests and needs of students. 4. In the world where information, communications, and information technology have advanced greatly, CLT can play an important role as an educator. Weakness of CLT. 1. This method is difficult to apply in a very crowded classroom. And 2. Teachers must be people who have very broad knowledge in French language and mother tongues. 3. Inadequate and appropriate use of teaching materials can damage the learning process. 4. The teacher's theoretical knowledge must be very good in terms of practice. 5. Teaching about the structure aspect of language. Grammar is very difficult to practice in the method. And 7. The CLT approach focuses only in fluency but not on accuracy. 8. Students who are weak and cannot use the target language will continue to make mistakes and eventually give up. And the last, 9. The CLT approach is very appropriate for intermediate and advanced classes. But for beginners or basic, this approach is not appropriate. Okay, I think enough. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.